Good evening, everyone. We are here tonight for Austria and Great Britain. A few drivers are missing, though, due to a fuel shortage in the UK. We may well see a lot of fuel saving tonight. Last time out, we saw Jake take his first league win in over 3 years. An apparent current theme here on F1 2024, with Cliffy and Jacko also ending long-lasting runs recently in TGT. The man up front claimed a third win of the season in France, though. Glock has been the one to beat, and already he's just one race win behind Court's all-time best of 4. Although Court was racing Farmers back then. There's always a chance of rain at both of these circuits, but we are still yet to see a rain-effective race this season. Could that change tonight? Well, TGP, like a fine wine, even without rain, we know we're in for a special race. We are in the closing minutes of qualifying here, and it is Glock currently quickest, but only by a tenth on Jack Hickey. Aiden and Griffins and Dan the Man are on that second row with Casper and Phil. Currently 5th and 6th for Williams. Casper on his first night here in TGP1. We've got a couple more drivers joining for the second race, so we will be up to 18 shortly. But we can see Matt Tibos now trying to beat the time that Glock has currently set, a 1:03.6, but Matt Tibos coming straight back into the pits for a bit more fuel and a new set of tyres.
Mechanic with his cock in my face. What?
Glock's middle sector. Glock's 2 tenths quicker than anybody else in the middle sector.
Glock finding all that time then in the middle sector. Phil Barger will not be improving. Expect drivers to now be peeling back to the pit lane. They will get one more run in this session. No. Let's see who has time to improve. You suspect JD should be up there. He's currently down in P16. He's on a lap now, but he's already invalidated. This is not what he needs. He is some way off the pace. About 18 seconds adrift of Glock, who himself is on his way back to the pits. Will be a bit tight if he can make it, but being just a 1 minute plus circuit, he should be fine to get back and change these soft tyres. The gap's always very tight around the Red Bull ring. Currently just 3 tenths the difference between first down to 5th. Glock is starting his final time run now. He's not coming in for new tyres. He's going to go for it. So let's see what the Haas driver, the man who's won 3 already this season, the man at the top of the championship, can he find more time and secure pole position here in Austria? The gap is just over a tenth to Jack Hickey. Jack Hickey out there too, also about to start his final time lap. Most of the drivers now leaving the pit lane. There's still 2 minutes to go in the session, and already Glock, quite royally for the rest of the field, has found a tenth, a full tenth in the first sector. He's finding more time. Could we see him go a low 1:03? That would be some lap, some benchmark that the rest would have to try and beat. Jack Hickey second at the moment on his out lap. Aidan Griffins is leaving a bit late, but he'll be leaving the pit lane now, surely, to start his final timed run. But here's Glock. What is the middle sector going to be? This will be crucial. He was a whole tenth up in the first sector. He's lost a bit of that now, but he's still 7 thousandths of a second. It's going to be really tight. We think this will be his final lap in the session. He'll be destroying the tyres if he sets another one. But here comes the Haas driver. Just 2 more corners to negotiate. Gets on the curbs beautifully. Round the final corner. Avoid that inside curb. Race to the line. Where can he go? 1:03.6 to beat. A 1:03.5 is the new benchmark. What can Jack Hickey now do about that in the Aston Martin? He's on his own tonight. His teammate, his brother, cannot make it. Sad to see him off tonight. Jack Hickey could get a tow here from Jovial Manatee. Manatee's not going to let him have it, which is a bit of a shame if you were looking for a fight for pole position. Jack Hickey currently 2 tenths away from Glock. He needs to find time. He needs to get himself as close up as possible. His rival Cliffy not here tonight, so a good chance to score as many points as he can over his rival. Glock has backed out, so we think that is his session done. A 1:03.5 is the time that he will set at a time the others will have to try and beat. Jack Hickey's finding time, but not a lot. This doesn't look like it's going to challenge the Haas driver's pace, who want to at least stay clear of Aiden and Dan, who are currently on the second row of the grid. Oh, Jack Hickey spun round. He's in the wall. He will not be improving. The Aston Martin facing the wrong way, and that is his qualifying session done. So let's go to the 2 Alfa Romeos. Has that put CJH off? He improves into P5. Good lap time from him. Casper, what can he do? He's invalidated. He will not be improving. Let's turn our attentions further down the field. We've got the Mercedes of, I think, Mr. Chiapelli. Sorry, Cena on a lap down the man. I think has spun on his final time run, so he will not be improving. Jack Pearson in the side, the top 10 at the moment. What can Phil Bargewell do? He's not finding time. This is not going to be a quick lap. The Williams driver looking best on the fourth row at the moment. Who is out there? Still to set laps. Matt Tibos finishes. He does not improve. Phil Bardwell will not be improving. He's invalidated on his lap time. We're not seeing any improvements here at the final part of the session. Let's see if Jordan can find an improvement in the AlphaTauri to the line. 104.2 to beat. He doesn't improve. So all these drivers then struggling to find the time they need. Aidan Griffiths has invalidated his lap time too.
I was improving, then I lost it over the curb.
CJH has time for one more run. What can he do? Can he get himself onside the top two rows of the grid? Currently P5, not far off. Daniel Fawcett, he stays P5. He does not improve. Casper's back in the pit lane, so it's only Jack Pearson who's not on a quick lap. He's returning to the pits, and then Cena and JD. Cena also returning to the pits, and JD invalidated. So that is qualifying complete. It's Glock on pole. Jack Hickey will start this race from P2 with Ian and Dan on the second row of the grid, and well, the two Ferraris 16th and 17th, and Jake Davis crashing out on the pit entry.
Cena just beat me.
To be honest, I was improving the whole time.
Get a fresh set now.
You start P12, I'm afraid, Roy.
I do.
It'll be P10 off turn one. Fucking hell, those starts.
That's only Glock's second pole position of the season,
I'm
despite
Jack in the pits. Sorry.
Despite his dominance in the championships. Only pole number 2 for Glock. He'll be happy with that.
I can just retire in the pits. Oh no, never mind.
Look at Matt Tibos as well, starting on mediums.
Jesus.
Nice house, we're not getting a soft one in.
Okay, well, to be fair, he only went a little bit quicker than me, and he's on a little bit slower than me. He's in the fucking me. Jesus.
I'm quite sweaty.
I am literally the slowest representative time on the board.
See you in a bit.
Hashtag get me in TGP2.
Here's your order then.
It's only 9/10 though.
The gap
Yeah, but
from
9/10
first.
around this track is like a.
Well, that is true.
Actually, it's 18 seconds that covers the field. Jake Davis with a 121.4, 17.8 seconds adrift. But look at that.
107%.
A 104.5 is a very good time, Luca. We might see the TGP2 boys struggle to get that tomorrow. There's still a very good lap. You are plus 9.10 off the pace, but unfortunately for that, you are at the back.
Does it all really? Need a TGP 1.5.
I always get taken out of Austria turn 1, so.
I think I took
Trying
it
to
out
win
of
a
Austria turn
constructors
1
and even then they got taken out,
last
right?
season.
Yeah.
Casper has said beep, 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 beep in the stream, but I saw nothing of Russia, so that reference makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Mick Schumacher.
Well, there you go. Mick Schumacher apparently said beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
But again, I've not seen Russia. I had a very messy weekend.
The sheep, I said beep, beep, sheep.
I had a very messy weekend in Bristol. Unfortunately, I shared a bed with a man
What?
who complains a lot.
Hards.
Why are you on hards?
I selected this mediums.
Oh, nice game. Oh well, try your best.
The Austrian Grand Prix. Lights are coming on your screen. They're about to go out. It's Glock on pole. We're racing in the Red Bull ring, and what a start that is from the Red Bull. P3, it was Aidan Griffiths getting a fantastic start, but already down the man, under threat from Casper behind him, very cleanly into zone 1. It's Glock who leads the Williams in the background, getting a little twisty, but Jack Hickman crucially staying P2, with Aidan Griffiths crucially keeping clear of Dan the man. CJH up to P4, what a start from him. Look at further back in the background, we've got 2 Mercedes drivers looking to make their way through the field. There's a Ferrari.
Are you serious?
Made contact with Mr. Chiapelli. That's not what either of those 2 drivers needed. The Ferrari and the Mercedes came together. That was a very unfortunate incident, but Aidan Griffiths and Jack Hickman are going side by side for P2. Both these drivers will need to be clean. They need to be smart here. If they want to catch Glock, they can't afford to lose each other too much time. But Aidan Griffiths, a fantastic first lap, looking for a podium here. Hasn't had many this season. I think he's only had 1 actually. Can he get himself back on the top step of the podium?
Oh fuck!
Oh, he almost lost it there. The camera decided to cut away at the worst possible moment. So CJH is now on the back of that Red Bull. They're going to go side by side. The final 2 corners need to be careful. And Aidan Griffiths for now holds position. There's a Ferrari off in the 3rd sector. Will that be a safety car? All virtual safety car. All drivers are now going past the pit entry. So no one will dive in. A Red Bull dives in. In fact, Alistair may be hoping there'll be a late safety car. But look at this good start. Unfortunately for Luca and Chiapelli. And Cam further back. Bit of an incident between them, but Phil Bardwell now on the back of Down the Man. He's had a disastrous start, hasn't he? Not what he needed, dropping places on the line, and now under attack from the Williams of Phil Bardwell. Unseen, but Casper's dropped down to 12th. I think he might have been the Williams that got a bit twisty outside of turn 1. Down the Man will want to get close enough to CJH, but he's got to be careful because right behind him is Phil Bardwell. Phil Bardwell has been fighting his internet provider today, but it seems to be holding on for now. Looks like Cam's had another spin, I think at turn 3. The Ferrari driver having a race to forget for now. You can see Phil Bardwell battling heavily. We've got Jack Pearson further behind, all over the back of Casper, looking to get himself inside the top 12. Of course, points down to the top 14 as Glock continues to stretch that lead. But I say stretch the lead, he's only 8 tenths clear, so it's still very close between all of these drivers as DRS now comes into effect. Jack Hickey must stay within a second. Every single driver is within a second, other than Roy, who's 1.3 behind Cena. Needs to close that gap if he's to get the use of the drag reduction system.
Proper DRS stream.
You can see the top 14 drivers just in a race of their own at the moment. You've got Alistair and Cam further back, having made stops already in this race. They'll be hoping for a safety car to bunch them up, or in fact no safety car at all, otherwise everyone else in front will get a free pit stop. Alistair 15 seconds off the pace of the man in front of him, and we see 3 cars going side by side. It's the 2 AlphaTauris and Kong Hoffner giving us a great scrap in the midfield, all fighting for a top 10 position. Kong needs to be careful. He comes into shot and he's behind both AlphaTauris, but there's the Williams there too. They're going to go 3 wide. Casper getting involved. Jack's round, but we've got 3 cars going side by side to the ultimate corner. This can't end well, can it? Yes, it has. Wow, brilliant stuff. Kong Hoffner gets both of them. And it looks like Jack Hickey's had a mistake because he's now behind Aiden. And he has CTH all over the back of him. This is giving Glock the breathing space that he needed. He's now 1.2 clear of the Red Bull, who's now under attack from Jack Hickey. They're going side by side, fighting for P2. And Jack Hickey retakes that position. So I'm not sure what happened, but it seems like he had a very twisty final couple of corners. Aiden tries to go back up the inside, but Jack Hickey for now holds on. Dan the Man is in a fight too with CJH, trying to get on the right. CJH will try to close that door, but Dan the Man is already alongside, so the gap is there. Can Dan the Man get the move down into the inside? Got to be careful of Phil right behind him. You can see this train now behind Jack. Not sure what happened to Jack. Maybe Aiden can fill us in on that one.
Went off for
Twitch
ultimate corner.
Well, he's a lucky boy then to keep it on the road, and he's a lucky boy to only be 1.4 behind us. There goes Jake Davis round the outside of Kong. These two are going side by side. Kong's been side by side of everyone this race, and they've both spun round. Synchronised spinning. They banged wheels, and thankfully for Jack Pearson, Kong Hoffner's car did ghost. Phil Bardwell already coming into the pit lane. Now that's interesting. He's getting out of this train and making an early stop. What will that do to the drivers in front? Will they now feel the need to react? You can see how bunched up they all are. Glock, this race is not over yet. He is still only just over a second clear of the rest of the field. Phil Bardwell needs to come out in clean air, but he may come now in that traffic with Kong and Jayuk, who just had that spin moments ago. So that could work out very badly for him. In fact, he is literally right with those two. In fact, might even be in the middle. CJH trying to attack Aiden Griffiths for P3. Aiden Griffiths trying to keep with Jack Hickey, and the 3 of them now almost 2 seconds adrift of Glock. They've got to keep within that gap. Casper is now racing J. Manatee up the inside. Can he make it stick? Look at this beautiful race, and there's the thumbnail. Get that one taken, Roy. That's a fantastic move from Casper, but Roy's still there. He's coming back at him, and Roy's experience allows him to stay through, and Jack Hickey again, I've gone back to him, and apparently he's meant to have been off, but he's still on the track on my screen. Jack Hickey's still in P2, and all these drivers staying out. Will Dan the Man go for a move on CJH? Will Aiden go for a move on Jack Hickey? They're also close into turn 1. This is a brilliant race. Second, third, fourth and fifth. Just a second between all of them. Tibbos has also joined the fight, and of course he started on the medium tyres. Dan the Man going side by side and getting through on CJH into 4th place. Will CJH try to fight it back? Aiden Griffiths is going to go up the inside of Jack Hickey. Oh, he tries to squeeze him out. They're going to be very careful not to ban wheels. Beautiful racing. Very close, but very fair. Aiden Griffiths, you can see from Dan the Man's view, Dan the Man will be praying that Aiden and Jack come together. And thankfully for Dan the Man, oh, there you go, there's CJH up the inside. Thankfully for him, there's no Alpine behind him.
Off, Leclerc, you absolute idiot, man. Can't you have the guy?
CJH closed the door. Dan the Man will feel very hard done by there. He's into P6. Not a corner he likes. He got taken up by Ocon there in the Q1 race earlier in the year.
Absolute. Oh my god.
Jack Hickey.
Cars to pit out of frustration.
Jack Hickey, does he choose to come into the pits this time round? He does. Phil Bargewell is not in clean air. Well, he is now. He's just got through on Kong Hofner. He was stuck behind him for about half a lap. So that's not going to have helped his chances to jump these drivers. But let's see what happens as Jack Hickey comes into the pit lane. We've got Tibos now just 0.6 of a second off Aiden. CJH now has a time penalty. Dan the man holding up Jack Hickey a bit there. And this could allow Phil Bargewell to potentially get the jump on him. Into turn 1, he's going to do it. Phil Bargewell's going to be miles clear. So can Phil Bargewell now win this race? Because if Glock pits, surely... Well, the gap is 18 seconds, and I think it's a bit more than 18 seconds for a pit stop. Phil Bargewell would be the net race leader should Glock pit now. Of course, Phil is setting multiple laps on these medium tyres. It's only a second lap, but it will come crucial come the end of the race. But you can see the gap is 18.6 to Glock ahead, so Glock's going to need a clean pit stop. Phil Bargewell is going to need Luca to get out of the way as quick as possible. Otherwise, it's looking good for Glock to take this race victory. Aidan Griffin surely has to react to pit this lap. No, he chooses to stay out. Glock stays, comes into the pit lane. Matt Tibbles will want to clear Aiden as quickly as possible. He's on a different strategy on the medium tyres. Not necessarily in Aiden's race. Aiden might just let him go. We're about to see into turn 1. Up the inside goes Matt Tibbles, and Aiden very smartly there just keeps behind. Maybe try and get back on the next lap. But where does Glock come out with this pit stop? Has Phil Bargewell done the jump? Jack Pearson also in. CJH also in. We've got a retimer from this race. Is that going to be a safety car or virtual safety car? Here comes Phil Bargewell side by side with Luca. Is he going to get Glock after turn 1? It's going to be very, very close. It looks like Glock is just going to come out clear of Phil Bargewell, but it is only a couple of tenths of Phil Bargewell. This is his chance. If he wants to win this race, he needs to make this move up the inside of Glock. Luca getting involved too. That's not going to help Phil's case, but Phil is clear of Glock. I'm not sure where Luca came from. Luca not necessarily in this race, then Glock is weaving around, and now he's got Kong Hofner up the inside of him. Kong Hofner up the inside of Glock. They bang wheels. Be careful, boys. Glock for now keeps P6, and Dan the man is in a race with CJH again. These two are getting very close. Let's take some of that data off the screen. Still side by side, these two. Dan the man will want the position. He'll give CJH a bit more room than he gave him a couple laps ago, and CJH might just get through. Side by side, these two have been battling all race. Tibos did stay ahead of Aidan Griffins. Aidan Griffins, will he pick this time round? As Dan the man is now clear of Kong Hofner. Mr. Chiapelli stays out for one more lap. Glock trying to get through on the inside. They make contact! Luca Chiapelli and Glock are out! Glock spun round. Luca Chiapelli made contact with him, and that's
safety
Glock
car
down in P11. There's a safety car. And Dan the Matt Tibos, Aidan Griffins, Jovial Manatee, they will be very happy with that. We've got Glock now down in P12. Does he have damage? It doesn't look like it. Well, Glock will feel like maybe. Well, hang on. We're looking at this. Glock does not have a helmet, so he deserves it. Glock is running without the helmet. This is a breach of TGP regulation 4.7. Once again, we see a driver. It always tends to be the Haas drivers as well, running without the helmet. And I said to Aidan Griffins, pit boy, what are you doing? Aidan Griffins said, shut up, Dom. I'm waiting for a safety car. And here he comes into the pit lane. Matt Tibbles cannot believe his luck. Unfortunately for Phil, this might actually lose Phil the win to Matt Tibbles, because Matt Tibbles is getting at a 3 pit stop. Aidan could also come out clear. He's 17 seconds clear of Phil, and a pit stop under a VSC is not that long. Neither of these drivers are changing their front wings, so it is going to be a race to see who gets out ahead of who. Aidan Griffins, can he get through on the Alfa Romeo? He's not going to do it, but all 3 of these drivers are going to clear Phil Bargewell, surely, because Phil is only now coming down to turn 1. He's got to lift off. He's got a delta to abide by, and Aidan Griffins and Matt Tibbles are both going to be clear of Phil Bargewell. Jack Hickey's going to be in P4, Dan the man in 5th, CJH with a penalty in 6th. Roy is going to come out behind Cena and Casper, and the bad news for Glock is that he did need to pit for a brand new front wing. He is going to be at the very back, except from Alistair, who is miles behind, 50 seconds behind at the moment on the back of this pack. But Glock down in P15, out of the points. And what's worse is ahead of him is Mr. Chiapelli, the guy that he made contact with, which has caused this drama. Luca, what happened?
For it after the safety car.
Basically, I was on the outside, and he just cut right across me trying to take his racing line. He should have left the room. I didn't move under braking.
That's Luca's view. So Luca unfortunately for him, it's sort of ruined his race too. He's down in P14. We'll still get a point at the moment. The good news for Glock is he can now go back on to a new set of soft tyres. So he will look to try and work his way up through the field as Mr. Chiapelli somehow gets a time penalty under the safety car.
Plan ruined. Oh well.
Well, that was very good for Phil Bardwell. It did look like he may just take this win. If it hadn't been a safety car, he would have had a fantastic lead over the rest of the field. Would have been Matt Tibos, his closest rival, but he himself would have been 4 or 5 seconds behind. Would have been a great race to the end with Matt on those soft tyres. But instead, it's Matt who leads this race on those soft tyres with Aidan Griffin's a very respectable P2 at the moment. I said, could we see a podium tonight? He said, nah, no chance, mate. Well, currently P2 on a fresh set of medium tyres. Let's see if he can hold on. As Jack Pearson's in third. Sorry, it's because he came into the pit lane.
Who the fuck has just overtaken me under safety car?
I got very confused then. Jack Pearson wants a bit of that cherry. He's also coming in for new softs, but I'm not sure if he was at the back of the pack anyway, but if he's just dropped about 6 or 7 places, was it really worth the pit stop?
I think he was 10th or 11th.
Okay, so Jack's choosing to take a 5-place drop to get the new set of soft tyres to probably try and gain back about 5 places. So whether that's the right call or not, we'll wait and see. As Alistair now comes up to the back of this pack. Alistair, we heard, say, get in as the safety car was deployed. I think he is happy as the most to see that Mercedes
slightly lagging.
track.
Who's lagging?
Aiden.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got nothing on my end.
Your car jumps every like a little bit.
Oh, Singer, please stay connected.
He's in 8th. He's having a good race.
Machine Fishy says, hello, big man. I assume he's talking to me. Hello, small man. Cam Armstrong has arrived. Casper has said beep, 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 beep again.
Fishy, remember him?
Yeah, bring back Machine Fishy.
Remember him? Yeah.
I think he remembers you, Phil Bardwell, very well.
You ruined this championship.
I mean, he crashed himself.
Ryan McLaughlin said, unfortunately, that incident has ruined his race. Ginger Andy wants Red Bull Kim in TGB1. Well, I mean, Red Bull Kim's not quite the pace of these drivers, Andy, so I'm not sure that's the right call, but the safety car is back in now. We're about to go racing once again, and it is Matt Tibos who leads them away from Aidan Griffin. Phil Bardwell, Jack Hickey in P4, needs to defend from down the man who's right on the tail of him. All these drivers bunched up, and Glock has picked up a time penalty at the final corner. Nowhere he needs the championship leader down in 14th, and now with a time penalty. That's Phil Bardwell taking a very aggressive turn 1, and Teacher H also judged to have cut turn 1 a little too much there as Matt Tibos now tries to pull clear of these drivers. Aidan Griffin's in P2. Phil Bardwell looking to get his first podium in quite some time. Jack Hickey will want to regain the place he lost in the round of pit stops. And down the man and Sid H are still glued to one another. But let's have a quick check on Glock's progress in this race. He now has Mr. Chiapelli once again in front of him. Probably having for a little easier time this time around. You can see ahead of him Jordan and Jay Gould fighting for position as they come down to this twisty section of the track. 5 cars all aligned. Look at Chiapelli for now ahead of Glock. Jordan and Jay just ahead, and you can see Kong Hoffner under threat from JD. Currently these drivers all fighting for position inside the top 10. Glock losing time as Mr. Chiapelli tries to get clear on the AlphaTauri ahead of him. Look how close all these drivers are. Mr. Chiapelli is flying on those new sets of soft tyres, and Jordan might have to just let that one go. In fact, he lets them all go. Jordan now down to 14th, and is he going to make a pit stop? Indeed he is. Aidan Griffin to the fastest lap of the race as Mr. Chiapelli spins round, and he's upside down. He's upside down. We might have to have a red flag for this one. Mr. Chiapelli is now back the right way round. And well, Mr. Chiapelli may be saving his fuel. Well aware that we're a fuel shortage in the UK, and that's where we're off to next. But unfortunately for him, he's round in this race, and another safety car would also be very timely for some of the drivers towards the back. ERT Jordan had to make another pit stop, not quite sure why, and we thought Matt Tibos would pull clear on the soft tyres, but it's Aidan Griffins who wants that race win. Matt Tibos has 40 race wins in TGP. Aidan Griffins, I'm going to guess 4 or 5, probably 4. I should probably know, I run the league. But it is Aidan Griffins chasing down the Alfa Romeo of Matt Tibos, and Phil Bardwell is still there too. Do not rule him out of this race. Jack Hickey and down the man will feel they have chances too, but for CJH, I don't think it's going to be his first win in TGP tonight with that time penalty.
He's got 2.
Aidan Griffins, we need to be looking forward. DRS is now enabled. Can he get a move on Matt Tibbles? This is quite amazing. Matt Tibbles, we suspected would be a great chance of the win round here. And now that he's on the faster tyres over everyone, we thought he'd pull clear, but instead, Aidan Griffins all over the back of the Alfa Romeo. He's going for a move up into turn 3, where he will position his Red Bull. Up the inside he goes. Matt Tibbles leaves the space, and Aidan Griffins takes the lead of this Austrian Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff from Aidan, but now Matt Tibbles will look to come straight back, but Aidan with a fantastic exit is surely going to stay clear. We've got Glock up into P12. He's passed Alistair Bain, who is ahead of Jack Pearson. Aidan Griffins takes the lead of this race, and now he's got 4 more laps to try and hold on, pull clear if he can, get within that DRS zone. Matt Tibbles wants to stay within, but unfortunately for him, Aidan's looking very quick at the moment. Yellow flag in sector 2, it's Glock! Is that Glock? He's round again! He's now down to P14 once more, and the Haas driver who leads the championship is only on course to score 1 point as things stand, and if Jordan can catch up, he will be demoted outside the points altogether. But now this is turning into some championship. Both the top 2 in the championship at the moment on course to score absolutely nothing. So the drivers behind, Aidan, Matt Tibbles, Phil Bardwell, Jack Hickey and Dan the Man, all quite conveniently inside the top 5 themselves. We've got Jack Hickey looking to get through on Phil Bardwell for that final podium position. We've also got Matt Tibbles looking to get through on Aidan, but he's a bit too far back, unfortunately for him. Jack Hickey sees Phil break a little too late, and will that give him the exit he needs to get himself onto that podium position? Aidan 5/10 the gap. If he can just stay a second clear and not get any sort of penalties, he's looking very, very good. Up the inside goes Jack Hickey on Phil Bardwell. Takes that podium position, and Glock is indeed down into 15th now. He may have damage, thanks, spun himself round. No points for him today. That pole position was not converted as Phil Bardwell continues to try and get through on Jack Hickey, and CJH continues to try and get through on Dan the Man. Jake Davis down into P11. Let's not forget he won last week somehow in Baku. He's a bit further down this time round. We've got CJH now behind Casper. Looks like Jordan is retired from the race. Or had a spin. Cena goes very wide. This will give Jake the chance to go up the inside. There's very little room there, but he makes it work. The Ferrari driver up into P10 as things stand. They go side by side, and Jake surely with extra speed. Cena a little out of place there, losing the back end, and the Ferrari easily through into the top 10, who will now try to chase down Kong Hoffner, who's having a very good race in P9. And look at him, just ahead of him is Jovial Manatee. We'll keep an eye on the top 7 because they're all within a second of each other. This is quite some race, isn't it? Jovial Manatee. In fact, why are we watching this? Fuck this. Let's go through the field. Jovial Manatee in PA doing nothing special as per usual. He should be doing his GT Sport highlights instead. Aidan Griffins from Matt Tibbles, Jack Hickey, Phil Bardwell, Dan the Man, CJH, Casper, your top 7. All of them separated by about 3 seconds. But who is going to win this race? They're about to start their penultimate lap. It's Red Bull from Alfa Romeo, from Aston Martin. A wonderful train of cars here. This could go any way. Dan the Man now trying to get Phil Bardwell's position number 4, and position number 4 is going to be his because the Williams driver, well, he had a time penalty, but now so does Dan the Man, and Jake out of the race, which will demote himself outside of the points, and Aidan Griffins has now been overtaken by Matt Tibbles. Where did that come from? Aidan back up the inside. Matt Tibbles had to get out of that one. Oh. They're still side by side. The top 2 are switching positions. It's the Red Bull back through again. Phil Bardwell, well, no surprises there. Spun himself round. They're gifting points to Glock further behind in the field. Aidan Griffins retakes the race lead. Apology, folks, for missing it, but the Red Bull driver back through. Matt Tibbles looking to get back through. These two, of course, made contact in Bahrain last season when they were fighting for race victory. But Jack Hickey down to 5th. Phil Bardwell down to 7th with their contact. Casper up into 6th. A fantastic debut night for him. He takes advantage of his teammate's spin. But as we start this final lap of the race, this is the only battle we should be watching. Kong Hoffner within a 10th of Jovial Manatee. He's going to be getting very close. You suspect he might get through. But Manatee now with the DRS himself on Phil Bardwell. What can Matt Tibbles do about this position number 1 of Aidan? Aidan will surely defend the inside line. Matt Tibbles goes for it. Aidan might be smarter here and just wait for the next DRS line. Aidan Griffins holds on for now, but even Dan the Man is in there too. It's a shame about the time penalty, but Matt Tibbles will have another chance on this final lap to get through on the Red Bull. He's going to go around the outside. Be very careful, boys. Matt Tibbles takes the lead back on this race. Will Aidan break very late? He will. They found wheels, and surely Aidan will have to let Matt Tibbles go for that one. Dan the Man looking to get through again. These 3 all side by side pretty much. Matt Tibbles only made contact. Aidan's round, and now Dan the Man's going to go through. He takes the lead of this race. Well, Matt Tibbles will say you shouldn't have dodged down the inside. Aidan will say, well, you shouldn't have spun me round. In the end, it's Dan the Man who takes the lead in this race. Who knows what's going to happen? Matt Tibbles will surely take it back. He's got CJH all over the back of him. I don't suspect his teammate will race him in these final couple of corners. Matt Tibbles will take win number 41 for now. We've got more cars spinning further behind. Con Hoffner is spun round in his battle with Cena and Travel Manatee. But here we go, Dan the Man is going to cross the line on the road at least to take the victory. But with that time penalty, it will go to Matt Tibbles. Matt Tibbles just ahead of his teammate. We've got Jack Hickey in P4. He can well get the win if time penalties are handed out. And Casper, a fantastic podium on his first night of racing. Alistair will get P9 ahead of Jack Pearson. They may both jump up game places with time penalties. Aidan gets 10th in the end. Alistair and Aidan 9th and 10th for Red Bull. Jack Pearson drops outside that top 10 and Glock scores just one single point here down in P14.
Wow, what a race. It wasn't clear, man.
That is so annoying. I had that.
I think the safety car ruined Phil's race there, unfortunately for him. The safety car, of course, brought out for Glock's incident earlier in the race. Now, Jack's about to rejoin the party, so get ready for that, folks. Get ready for Jack's 20-minute cameo. But your driver of the day, I think, for my opinion, has to go to probably Jabil Manatee. But I never got to see who it was. It never showed me, so we'll never know.
Well, it was me anyway.
It was Jabil Manatee. Okay, there you go. Manatee with the position number 6 and the driver of the day award. But Matt Tibbles on the top step of the podium, only for the first time this season. And even if Jack's given the win later on, depending on what the stewards decide, either way, it's a new winner for this season. And what a result for Casper on the podium on his first race, representing Finland, the first Finnish driver on the podium in TGB1. What a result for him. And Aidan Griffiths at least did get the fastest lap, so a bonus point for him, despite finishing down in P10.
Dom, I think you've forgotten about Aresi.
Ah, of course, Aresi! Casper, the second Finnish driver in TGB1 history to make the podium.
I'm channeling the spirit of Johners.
Oh, and of course, H-Pro. H-Pro as well. Of course, Casper is the third driver in TGB1 to represent Finland and get a podium.
Did Speed Racer ever get a podium? He's finished, isn't he?
Oh, Speed Racer, of course, the fourth. Casper is the fifth driver from Finland. I should probably do my research, shouldn't I? Just outside the points, it's Jake 15th, Lucas 16th, and New Zealand Cam in 17th position. But there's your order. It was Tibbles who won outright here in Austria. Jack Hickey and Casper completing the podium. Dan the Man will be quite unfortunate and quite sad to finish 4th, despite crossing the line first.
Yeah, Aidan, you're lagging. Quite a lot of people saying it.
You weren't lagging on my screen, Aidan, but when you made contact...
With Tibbles, I think I've mounted him because it was unnatural as fuck.
Yeah, there was a moment where like it went weird on the screen, but you weren't actually lagging.
Come on.
I'd like to report Luca for an unsafe entry upside down to the back of the 20.
Hey! Flipped it. Luca flipped it. What happened, Luca? Did you just lose at the final corner?
Yeah, no.
Just lost at the final corner. My setup's a bit tail happy. But I reckon I got barge board damage or something because, yeah, that shouldn't have been a spin.
What happened to
left?
then?
Kong left, as did Cam. And Mason.
Is...